Welcome to InfoWars Live 3 to 5. I'm your host, Owen Schroyer, on this Friday, and we have got a jam-packed show. You just got a preview of my guest that will be coming up here momentarily, Omar Navarro, running for Congress in the 43rd District of California. After that, I'm going to be roasting Maxine Waters. This woman continues to deliver on absolute fool's gold. We'll call it fool's gold because she's a fool, and it's absolute gold. And then I've got all kinds of news that we're going to cover as well. But first, let's go to my guest, Omar Navarro. Omar Navarro is actually going to be running against one of the biggest swamp creatures out there, and that is Maxine Waters. And the reason why I want to get Omar on, not only to talk about him and his run for Congress, but also to talk about how this is how we can drain the swamp. We elect people to replace the biggest swamp creatures like a Maxine Waters, a John McCain, Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, Chuck Schumer. The list goes on and on. So I bring on Omar Navarro, who's running for Congress in California against Maxine Waters. Omar, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Owen. You know, I'm very proud to be here today and to be on InfoWars. It's a very happy day. I didn't think that this day will happen, but it's happened. People are listening. People are tired of Maxine Waters across the nation. This is a mission right now. You know, I've worked very hard at a young age. I have a small business. I serve in the tech industry. I do online marketing. I was volunteer for the district attorney's office in Los Angeles, assisting victims of crimes. I serve as current traffic commissioner in the city of Torrance. You know, I put my time in this world to pay back to society, to do something for our humanity, to make sure that we're doing what we can to change the world. I was a big President Trump supporter during his campaign. I went out and I campaigned for him. I got a lot of flack, a lot of heat for supporting him from the very beginning. I've lost contact with family because of the relationship of supporting Trump, but I made the right decision. I supported him. He won, and he's our president now, and we have to make sure that we're working with the president. You know, right now, the current leadership in my district is not working with the president. We need somebody who's going to work with the president to get the job done. We have people that are struggling, people that are homeless, unemployed, businesses that are leaving, like Toyota, leaving to Olean, Texas. For me, that's concerning. The state of California is going south while everybody around the world is prospering. We need to make sure that the state of California is prospering, but it's not going to happen under the liberal policies these politicians are enacting here in the state of California.
Well, you talked about how your district doesn't want to work with Trump. I mean, that is literally true. Maxine Waters has said she has zero interest in working with Trump. And then you went on to talk about your district, how there's homelessness, there's some serious needs in your district. I had somebody, one of our audience, sent footage to me of pictures and images from your district, and it looked really bad. I mean, it looked like there was trash all over the place. It looked like there's homeless people. It looks like it really needs some work. It looks like it's been ignored by your politicians. But Maxine Waters, your opponent, doesn't even live in the district. She's completely out of touch with what's going on there.
Well, Maxine lives in Hancock Park. She lives outside the district in a mansion. She's far out of touch with what's going on and the issues in our district. You know, I live in the district. I've lived in the district since I was a kid. So I know the reality of the district. I lived in Hawthorne. I lived in Englewood. I live in Torrance now. You know, I've lived in all parts of the district. And, you know, I know what's going on, and I see it when I drive around. And I don't like seeing poverty. I don't like seeing businesses leaving in our district. You know, what really empowers people? Having a job. You know what really empowers people? Having business growth. You know, business growth is going to create jobs. We need to make sure that we're creating a pro-business atmosphere. You know, I'm part of the Unified Small Business Alliance, which has 1,700 members. The founder, Aurelio Matucci, which co-founded the organization, was to make sure that small businesses are thriving. And I was happy to be part of that initiative. We have over 1,700 small businesses that are part of the Unified Small Business Alliance. And I'm proud to be a part of that organization. We're going out there. We're talking to businesses. We're making sure that businesses are prospering in the state of California. But we can't allow liberal politicians in the state of California to put business down anymore. And I'm not going to allow it to happen, simply.
Well, and listening to you talk, I know that you're big, I don't know if this is your campaign slogan, but what you talk about is proactive. You want to be a proactive member of Congress. You want to be proactive for your district. You just mentioned all the things you're doing for small businesses, all the ideas you have to grow small businesses to rejuvenate your district. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, wow, Omar is already working harder and doing more than the actual politician from that district is doing. What is Maxine Waters doing? She's doing nothing. She's putting on her makeup. She's putting on her wig. She's going on national TV and talking about Russia, Russia, Russia. She doesn't even have a clue what's going on in her district. Omar, you clearly have your nose to the ground and you care about this area where you were raised.
Yeah, you know, when you're raised somewhere in your own hometown and your own back alley, you're going to be concerned just as anybody what's going on. You're going to get tired. You're going to see that these politicians are not doing anything. You know, the state of California, the Democrats have a stronghold over the state of California. Mm-hmm. They have control over the assembly. They have the control over Congress in California. They have control over mayor seats, city council seats. You know, and I ask people, what have they done for you? What have they done for you? What have they done? And a lot of people say they haven't done anything. And people are waking up, and especially the Latino community is waking up. And that's what they're scared of. They're scared that they're waking up. And I'm glad
that you went there, because I want to go down that aisle for a minute. You know, Maxine Waters would probably tell you that you can't support Trump because he's racist against Latinos. Obviously, that argument never was able to hold water. But talk about that. There's this terrible, I think, misunderstanding by the Democrats of the Latino community that they can play the victim card with them, call them victims, and think that they're going to start to suck from the teat of the Democrat Party like all their other constituents do. But that's not the case with Latinos. Latinos are independent people. Latinos like having their own life, and they like being able to, you know, fend for themselves. I think the Democrats have severely underestimated the Latino culture and the Latino people that are actually Americans, not coming over here illegally.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I talk about in my live feeds. I talk about how all immigrants are bundled up together and they're treated as they're all illegals. But there's a huge amount of people that came here legally through the legal process that didn't break the law, and they don't like being bundled up. And I've heard that message many times from many Hispanic Latinos that are out there who are tired of being bundled up altogether. They want to be recognized. They want to be known as that they came here legally. They didn't break the law. They say that, you know, they followed the process. They paid all these fees that came along. They paid a price. They were apart from family members for years. While if someone else cuts the line, that's not okay. We can't skirt the law anymore. We got to obey the law in our country.
Well, and I know that I think it was in one of your videos you talked about your parents actually coming here and going through the legal process. And this is something a lot of people in California have, parents that came here the legal way, and they've started cultures in California. But again, it's like they underestimate this and they want to lop you into this illegal immigrant thing and say, oh, Trump is against all illegals. It's like, no, it's just the people that are coming here illegally, not immigrants who came here legally. And I would imagine for yourself, whose parents came here illegally, someone who actually grew up as an American citizen in that district, to have people coming here illegally, getting handouts from the government, that's something that your parents have to take very personally and something that you obviously want to stop.
Yeah, I'm really passionate about this because we have to make sure that we're following the law. You know, my family came here from Mexico and Cuba, and they respected the law of our country. They came here with dignity, with integrity. They came here with respecting this country. And when they came here to respect this country, they came here for a better life. And the country provided a better life for them because they had every opportunity to succeed. My mother was very successful in the real estate industry. My father was very successful in the aerospace industry. And, you know, that's amazing that someone can come to this country legally and do it right, and it can send a message to everybody that you can do this. But we have to respect the laws of our country. We can no longer skirt the law. We have to respect the law.
Yeah, and they make it harder for people to come here and accomplish the American dream when we have so many welfare systems sucking off of our taxpayer dollars, causing us to go broke, all the regulations on small businesses. And this is the stuff that you want to fight. You're a proactive candidate. You've made that very clear on your website. And I want to get into, real quick, your opponent, Maxine Waters, who I think, Omar, I think you got a real good chance at this, buddy. I know that probably all the odds are stacked against you. The big money is stacked against you. But Maxine Waters is really a blubbering fool, unless the thing is completely rigged. But you have tried to have a public debate with Maxine Waters. You've tried to get on a platform with this woman. You've tried to offer discourse with this woman about the congressional district you're representing. What's her response been?
Yeah, I've had many people who have gone out there to events and to basically asking Maxine, why won't you debate Omar Navarro? The message is still there. They keep asking her that question, and Maxine keeps skirting that message and going around it. She doesn't want to answer. That's what's been happening all over the district. I had recently, 2 weeks ago, that someone showed up to one of her events that she had in Los Angeles. She invited the top elitists in Los Angeles that were there. No one in the district. It was outside the district. This was not about fixing the 43rd congressional district. This was not about taking care of the issues that are happening in our district. This was about pure politics, nothing more. And I'm about fixing what's going on in our district and in our country. It's time for us to get back to what we're doing here and getting jobs in the state of California. I'm not going to allow my state to fall apart. I'm not.
Yeah, and it's time for Maxine Waters to answer the bell. Why wouldn't she not want to debate you? I know why, because you would crush her and probably she would embarrass herself. She cannot hold herself in a public forum, would be my guess. But, Omar, you to me are just the picture-perfect candidate for this. You have your parents that came here, that immigrated here legally. You're in a very, I would imagine, a pretty strong Latino area. I don't know the demographics, obviously, as well as you. You're going against one of the most elitist politicians who's been ingrained in that district for a long time, who's absolutely going crazy, and you're from the district. This is actually your home. You care about this area. What is your message as you go forth for your campaign for the elections in 2018?
Yeah, let me go back a little bit to what you were saying about the numbers, and I want to show the numbers out there. Because a lot of people still think that the district is primarily run by Black Americans. It's actually, since 2012, redistricting happened. So 54% of the district is actually made up of Hispanic and Latinos. So the demographic has changed in my favor in a sense. So the election is different now. Everything's different. The numbers have changed. Everything has changed. So what's happening right now is a message is being sent differently. So what needs to happen is that we need to get people that are encouraged to go out there to support me and support my campaign. We're doing just that right now. We're knocking doors. We're getting people engaged. We're increasing our volunteer base by huge amounts of people. I mean, it's amazing that I've seen huge millennials supporting my campaign, and it's amazing how diverse we are. I'm very happy about that. I'm very proud of it, too. And I'm very proud of seeing hundreds of individual donors who have donated to my campaign. I'm not beholden to special interests. I'm beholden to the people I serve.
That's amazing that you mentioned the millennials. That would crush Maxine. She's anti-Maxine is claiming that she's the candidate of the millennials now. Are you aware of this?
Yeah, but she also claims she's a millennial herself, so that's one thing.
Yeah, like I said, she's actually exposing herself as a complete blubbering fool, as you, on the other hand, care about your district and you're actually having a conversation with somebody, not just about tearing down Donald Trump. So proactivity, that's what you want to do for your district. You're talking about your ground game right now, knocking on doors, making phone calls. What has the response been like for you? Actually, I want to go back for a second. I wasn't aware of the gerrymandering that you mentioned and redistricting. Is 2018 the first time there'll be an election with the new districts?
No, actually, there was one back in 2012. Okay. So that was the first time there was one, but there hasn't been a Hispanic Latino that has challenged her since the redistricting has happened. The last time that I challenged her, I raised $6,000. I was outspent. She spent $600,000. I still received nearly 30% of the vote. That tells you a long shot. With 14% registration of Republicans, I still got 30%. That means I had to cross over voters and get part of that registration. And I had to get a lot of Democrats to vote for me, including Decline Estates. So, I mean, that was huge.
Yeah, well, I would imagine, your toughest part is just getting the message out there because you're in such a heavy Democrat area. Most of the people probably just go to the poll and just fill out whatever Democrat is on there and don't really do any research. How do you beat that?
Sometimes that's not enough. Voting is just not enough. And we have to get engaged. We have to support campaigns. Part of it, part of the game is you have to raise money. And, that's what we're doing this time around. We're raising money. And I'm very proud that we raised almost $10,000 in the past month and a half. And that's amazing to me that I have that support from a lot of donors. I'm very happy and I'm very proud, but we need to raise more. And the only way that Maxine's going to be beat is that I raise more money and I have to send a message across the district. The only way that she'll lose is if we raise money. If we raise money and people hear my message. Remember, like I said, 54% of the district is Hispanic and Latinos. If they hear the message and they listen, they know that there's an alternative candidate to Maxine Waters. They will vote for me. I will tell you this right now. They will vote for me. I'm very confident because I've gone out there. I know the community. I even speak Spanish myself. You know, I understand the community myself in hand.
Yeah, I mean, you speak English and Spanish. I think Maxine still struggles with English. So what are you getting, though, a response on the ground when you knock on these doors? Are people fired up to get involved again politically? Are they like, wow, thank you so much? Or are they kind of just like, you know, whatever? What has been the response like from your team?
Well, a lot of times, from what I've noticed, I knock doors myself, too. You can't just let your team handle everything. But from my experience, I'm going to share my experience because I like sharing experiences that I've done myself. You know, from my experience, what I've done in knocking doors, a lot of people that I knock doors, they're surprised that there's a young person who is running for office, and that gets to them. They like that. They like seeing young people who are active, who are involved, who care about the community. They even tell me, I have never seen in my life a congresswoman or congressman knock my door. I have never seen that in my life. Someone running for office even knock my door. And I'm very flattered that you're doing that. I get that from a lot of people, that they're flattered that I do that. Actually, the reception is actually very well. I get donations, too, through that, which is great, from knocking those doors, and also getting a lot of support and getting walkers for the campaign, setting up volunteers. I've met people through my Periscopes, through my YouTube videos, who want to volunteer to my campaign, Facebook. I mean, this is a grassroots campaign, but not only a grassroots campaign, it's a grassroots campaign that's gone national, that people are listening all over the United States.
Well, and like I said earlier, to me, you're running a campaign. You're a candidate that is like what we need. You need to be the new wave of politicians. You know, we're about the same age. We're at that age where it's time for us to start making an impact on our culture, on our world. It's time for our thoughts and our ideas to start manifesting itself. And also, it's time for people to start running and in the districts that they live, to start running and going to the areas that they care about, because that's where they're from. These are the people that they grew up with. These are the people that they relate to. And it's just a new wave of politics to me that I think that you're trying to start and trying to take advantage of, and I'm hoping it catches on. And what I'd like to do, and I don't know, obviously you're busy with the campaign, but what I would also like to do is find the other people out there who are running against the swamp creatures like yourself, who are going to get outspent 100-1, who are going against the Chuck Schumers and the Nancy Pelosi's. I want to get them on the show. I want to talk to them. I want to reach out to them. I want to hear what they're doing, because all of these people are just lifetime politicians. They don't actually do anything for their districts. Most of them don't even live in their districts. That is the swamp to me, and I think it's up to the voters to drain it in 2018.
Well, it's our time to drain the swamp, and we're doing that right now in the 43rd Congressional District. You know, like I said before, Maxine Waters, I'm going to beat you. And when I beat you, you're going to realize what you did to the district, because I'm going to point all the issues and all the flaws that happened to our district, and I'm going to fix them. I'm going to take care of everything that's happened that you made in the first 35 years. 35 years she's been in office.
Unbelievable.
35 years. She has failed me my entire life.
She's really done nothing for the district. Again, I don't know the district like you do, but I've had people send me video, and it's just like it just looks bad. It's like it's just been completely abandoned is what it looks like. And if you guys would like to see what Omar is talking about and his plans for his district, go to omarnavarro.com/mypledge, and it talks about all this. You know, it's amazing, Omar, to me, what you say, because it sounds radical. It sounds crazy, like, oh, yeah, sure, another politician who says he's going to fix all this stuff. But no, all it takes is a little effort. All it takes is a little focus. If Maxine Waters had any of it, you would think over the course of 30-plus years, she could accomplish something. You're going to get in there and actually try, and you're actually going to prove that, you know what? Good leadership and proactive leadership can actually get things done. And I think that right now, if you can get enough energy behind your campaign from the people in your district that believe that, then I do think you will win.
And I believe that myself, too. You know, President Donald J. Trump fixed a lot of things in a short period of time. So that's a great example for you. And a lot of people know it.
Final words, Omar Navarro running against Maxine Waters, one of the biggest swamp creatures out there in the 43rd District of California. In fact, I'll even put this one out there. What do you think the odds are that California might actually see some red districts coming up in the 2018 elections, most importantly in the 43rd? Do you hear that one, Omar?
Can you repeat the question, please?
What do you think the odds are that California in the 2018 elections is going to see some red districts where it's normally just completely blue?
You know, I'm very confident that there's going to be a lot of districts that are going to change in the state of California, including my district, first of all, because I'm working on it right now in this second, and we're doing whatever we can. My campaign manager is doing a lot of work. A lot of my volunteers, a lot of the people who support me are going out there, and we're changing the district. You know, we're going to send a message on a national scale, and we're going to set the precedent for the next election. For the next presidential election, Trump's going to know that there's someone who's changing the state of California, and his name's Omar Navarro.
I love it, Omar, and I'm definitely in your corner, and we want to help drain the swamp in California and all across the United States. And for anyone else out there who is in a situation like Omar, where you're going up against one of the biggest swamp creatures out there, please reach out to me. I want to get you on this platform. I want to get you more attention. I want to get you in office to drain the swamp. Trump cannot do it alone. Omar, thank you so much. Best of luck in your race. And like I said, I'm in your corner. Anytime you need help, you reach out to me, okay?
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All right, there's Omar Navarro running against Maxine Waters in the 43rd District of California, folks. We have to drain the swamp. We, the people, have to drain the swamp. And I think the next biggest opportunity after getting Trump in office, which we've already done against all odds, is to get some of these swamp creatures out. The biggest names that come to mind: Chuck Schumer, Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, John McCain, Elizabeth Warren, and the list goes on. We need to find out who's running against these people. We need to get their names out there, and we need to get them in office. That is how we can drain the swamp and allow Donald Trump to be more effective as the president of the United States.
Vitamin Mineral Fusion. Visit InfoWarsLife.com to secure your canister. We have worked for years with our chemists and scientists to create the most powerful and affordable, great-tasting multivitamin formula available. Vitamin Mineral Fusion Drink Mix at InfoWarsLife.com is loaded with a full month's supply of essential vitamins, minerals, and amino acids that your body absolutely needs. In the history of InfoWars Life, we've brought out a lot of amazing products like Survival Shield X2, Super Male Vitality, and so many others. With its unique delivery system and proprietary manufacturing process designed for maximized effects, this formula is the platinum standard of multivitamin mineral products. And this part is most important. The ingredients in Vitamin Mineral Fusion are either plant-derived or of the highest quality lab standard. That means it's clean. That means it's pure. And rest assured, you're fighting the tip of the spear in the info war. That's InfoWarsLife.com and Vitamin Mineral Fusion. Take action now before we sell out.
World. I was a big President Trump supporter during his campaign. I went out and I campaigned for him. I got a lot of flack, a lot of heat for supporting him from the very beginning. I've lost contact with family because of the relationship of supporting Trump, but I made the right decision. I supported him. He won, and he's our president now, and we have to make sure that we're working with the president. You know, right now, the current leadership in my district is not working with the president. We need somebody who's going to work with the president to get the job done. We have people that are struggling, people that are homeless, unemployed, businesses that are leaving, like Toyota, leaving to Olean, Texas. For me, that's concerning. The state of California is going south, while everybody around the world is prospering. We need to make sure that the state of California is prospering, but it's not going to happen under the liberal policies these politicians are enacting here in the state of California.
Well, you talked about how your district doesn't want to work with Trump. I mean, that is literally true. Maxine Waters has said she has zero interest in working with Trump. And then you went on to talk about your district, how there's homelessness, there's some serious needs in your district. I had one of our audience sent footage to me of pictures and images from your district and it looked really bad. I mean, it looked like there was trash all over the place. It looked like there's homeless people. It looks like it really needs some work. It looks like it's been ignored by your politicians. Welcome to InfoWars Live 3 to 5. I'm your host, Owen Schroyer, on this Friday, and we have got a jam-packed show. You just got a preview of my guest that will be coming up here momentarily, Omar Navarro, running for Congress in the 43rd District of California. After that, I'm going to be roasting Maxine Waters. This woman continues to deliver. Joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Owen. You know, I'm very proud to be here today and to be on InfoWars. It's a very happy day. I didn't think that this day will happen, but it's happened. People are listening. People are tired of Maxine Waters across the nation. This is a mission right now. You know, I've worked very hard at a young age. I have a small business. I serve in the tech industry. I do online marketing. I was a volunteer for the district attorney's office in Los Angeles, assisting victims of crimes. I serve as current traffic commissioner in the city of Torrance. You know, I put my time in this world to pay back to society, to do something for our humanity, to make sure that we're doing what we can to change the
deliver on absolute fool's gold. We'll call it fool's gold because she's a fool and it's absolute gold. And then I've got all kinds of news that we're going to cover as well. But first, let's go to my guest, Omar Navarro. Omar Navarro is actually going to be running against one of the biggest swamp creatures out there, and that is Maxine Waters. And the reason why I want to get Omar on, not only to talk about him and his run for Congress, but also to talk about how this is how we can drain the swamp. We elect people to replace the biggest swamp creatures like a Maxine Waters, a John McCain, Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, Chuck Schumer. The list goes on and on. So I bring on Omar Navarro, who's running for Congress in California against Maxine Waters. Omar, thank you.